For anyone who grew up watching Coming to America, the cast became more than actors. They became a huge part of pop culture. But more than 3 decades later, the cast behind this legendary film has undergone some truly shocking transformations. Some have aged gracefully into icons, others stepped away from the spotlight completely, and a few faced heartbreaking ends the world never saw coming. This is the real journey of the stars who made Coming to America unforgettable, then and now. When Coming to America hit theaters in 1988, Eddie Murphy was already a superstar, but this role turned him into Hollywood royalty. At just 27, he didn't just play Prince Akeem, he was the movie. His charm, comedic timing, and unforgettable barbershop characters made the film a classic almost instantly. After its success, Eddie continued dominating the 90s and 2000s with The Nutty Professor, Dr. Dolittle, and the voice of Donkey in Shrek. But fame came with its pressures, and Eddie eventually stepped back from the spotlight for years. Then in 2021, he returned for Coming to America, proving he could still own the screen with ease. Now 62, Eddie Murphy keeps a low profile, focusing on family and the occasional passion project. But no matter how much time passes, fans still see him as the prince who changed the game.
Look, I know what I like, and I know you know what I like because you were trained to know what I like, but I would like to know what you like. For instance, do you have a favorite food?
Nobody knew, and if the movie was kind of doing this new thing, so nobody knew till it came out.
At 32, Arsenio Hall was the perfect scene partner for Eddie Murphy. Sarcastic, expressive, and hilarious in every moment. As Semmi, he brought comic relief and balance to Akeem's idealism, and their chemistry became a huge part of what made the film unforgettable. But at the peak of his success, he chose to walk away from it all, focusing on fatherhood and a quieter life. He later returned to comedy in Coming to America, slipping back into his old role with ease. Now 67, Arsenio stays mostly out of the spotlight, but his impact on comedy and pop culture is still undeniable.
Your Majesty, what are you doing here?
Not much work. And I did a reboot that lasted a year, and I don't know how you do what you do.
Few actors command a room like James Earl Jones. At 57, he played King Jaffe Joffer with authority, elegance, and that unmistakable voice. Sadly, James Earl Jones passed away in 2024 at the age of 93. He's entrusted his legacy to the next generation, but to fans, his voice and presence remain unmatched.
I received your telegram. What is Akeem?
He went out. So how was your flight? Comfortable, I trust?
Your only job was to look after Akeem. How could you let him come to such a pass?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my grandfather was Papa. He was a farmer.
As Cleo McDowell, John Amos played the overprotective father and proud fast food mogul who ran his restaurant like royalty. At 49, Amos brought a no-nonsense attitude and sharp comedic timing that balanced out the film's more outrageous moments. Unfortunately, John Amos passed away in 2024 at the age of 84, around the time James Earl Jones also passed away. And while he didn't wear a crown, his presence in the movie made him a king in his own right.
I don't give a damn who you are. This is America, Jack. Now you say one more word about Lisa here, and I'm gonna break my foot off in your royal ass.
Pardon me?
That gave me the confidence that I could be a writer, a television writer, or whatever opportunities presented themselves.
At 50, Madge Sinclair brought poise, grace, and quiet strength to the role of Queen Aoleon. Her presence softened the film's comedic chaos and gave the royal family its emotional center. But behind the scenes, she was fighting a private battle with leukemia, one she never made public during her career. Madge Sinclair passed away in 1995 at just 57 years old. Her death was quiet, but her legacy still echoes through every role she played, especially the queen who helped shape a generation's idea of royalty.
The rose petals.
What is the matter, dear? You are the son of a king. Why should you not walk on the petals of roses?
But Mother, if there were no rose petals, I would still be the son of a king.
I work hard at being an actress, there's no modesty in me. I'm good at what I do because I've worked hard at being good.
At just 24 years old, Sherry Headley brought heart and strength to the role of Lisa McDowell, the woman who stole Prince Akeem's heart by being nothing like the royalty he was used to. Her character wasn't just a love interest. She was grounded, smart, and carried herself with quiet confidence that made her instantly relatable. Now 60, Sherry returned as Queen Lisa in Coming to America, and fans were thrilled to see her take her rightful place on the throne. She may have started out working at McDowell's, but she ended up as a queen.
Next time you and my father decide to get together to plan my life, I wish you'd let me in on it.
It's not like...
Don't touch me.
I mean, I'm so blessed that people enjoy this movie 30 years later. I mean, that's amazing.
Eric LaSalle played Darryl Jenks, the overconfident heir to the Soul Glow empire and Lisa's unwanted suitor. At 26, LaSalle nailed the role with a perfect mix of charm and cringe, making Darryl one of the film's most entertaining antagonists. Now 62, he stayed out of the Coming to America sequels, but his slick, jerry-curled legacy still lives on in memes and nostalgia.
It's not like...
Don't touch me.
But baby, it's our engagement party. And we were laughing because one of the funniest dynamics of ER for us was that people were always complaining.
Frankie Faison had a brief but unforgettable role as the grumpy landlord who welcomed Akeem and Semmi to their rundown New York apartment. At 39, he was already a seasoned character actor, and his delivery added just the right touch of realism and sarcasm to the film's fish-out-of-water scenes. Now 75, Frankie Faison continues to act, proving that even a small role can leave a lasting impression.
You may enter.
You are not Akeem.
I know that.
When I left Illinois Wesleyan University, I was the star guy. I mean, I was like, in all the productions, I was like highly touted.
Louis Anderson played Maurice, the upbeat McDowell's employee with big dreams. At 35, he was already a rising comic, and his small role gave the movie a touch of Midwestern charm. Sadly, Louis passed away in 2022 at age 68 after a private battle with cancer, but he left behind decades of laughter.
Hi! You know, I started on cleanup just like you guys, but now, see, I'm washing lettuce. Soon I'll be on fries, then the grill. A year or two, I make assistant manager. And that's where the big bucks start rolling in.
When you're a fat person, people, you know, I'm on a food plan now where they deliver the food.
Before he was a global star, Samuel L. Jackson had a blink-and-you'll-miss-it role as the shotgun-wielding hold-up man. He was 40 and just getting started. That one chaotic scene? It became legendary, a rare early glimpse of the intensity he'd soon bring to Pulp Fiction, The Avengers, and beyond. Now 76, Jackson is one of the highest-grossing actors in history, and it all started with a stick-up at McDowell's.
I've warned you. I'll be forced to thrash you.
Fuck you!
We were both, we were acting and doing all the stuff that we're doing. It's like doing theater and going through it. And at one point, she was the breadwinner.
Vanessa Bell Calloway played Imani Izzi, the obedient bride-to-be who famously barked on command. She was 31 and absolutely nailed the role's over-the-top absurdity. Now 67, Calloway is still acting and still gets asked about that barking scene to this day.
Anything I say, you do?
Yes, Your Highness.
Bark like a dog.
And I bought this curly little short wig, very much like the sisters wear today.
Billy Gordon appeared as the bold, large woman in the nightclub scene, a short moment, but unforgettable. She was 34 at the time and brought big energy to one of the film's most outrageous montages. Now 70, she remains a cult favorite among fans who remember every wild character from that iconic night out.
USC, the RAND Corporation, the Department of Defense, and Paramount. Okay, can you imagine the foursome friend?
From royalty to restaurant workers, the cast of Coming to America gave us characters we'll never forget. Decades later, their stories are still unfolding, some inspiring, some heartbreaking, all iconic. Which transformation surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a trip down memory lane.